Welcome back everybody to Forza Motorsport. So we're continuing on with the Velocity Tour and we're doing the Sebring LMP2, and as you can see it is only a one race championship, and that is because this race is apparently quite long, predicted an hour long. So yeah, it's going to take some time, but should hopefully be a fun race. It's going to certainly have some elements into it that I'm not usually having to come across, like pit stops for fuel and tyres. So yeah, let's get into it. So we have the Oreca number 38 Performance Tech Motorsports Oreca number 7 to choose from, or the DC Racing Oreca 07 from 2017. Doesn't seem to be drastically different in terms of performance. In fact, I think the older one is the one that is the one to go for. And since I already own it, I will actually get that one because it costs quite a bit to get, to be honest. So yeah, we'll go for this one. It's not got the most original looking well, I say original, more racing looking livery on it, but regardless. So yeah, as you can see, Sebring International Raceway, full circuit, 33 laps. So yeah, obviously if the laps are only going to be about a minute and a half, then yeah, that's going to take more than an hour. So hopefully we're quicker than that. I think we can upgrade the car. Yeah, we're going to upgrade it because we do need the car to be as fast as possible to make it a even quicker car to get around this circuit. So yeah, that's all we can really do. The front and rear tyres, and increase the power to, well, by quite a lot actually, more than 181 horsepower extra and 120 odd extra pounds-feet of torque, which is quite a lot. Right, so let's confirm those. Take your time, game. You know, got all the time in the world. It's not like we're in a long episode or anything. Right, so yeah, obviously it's a 3.7 mile track, so it's quite long. It's longer than most circuits on this game, but it is obviously quite a fast one as well. You've got two long straights on it. Most of the corners are quite quick. There's very few hard braking zones. But yeah, I've not raced this car or this race car before on this game, so I'm not entirely sure how it's going to handle, but hopefully it will handle well. Obviously we have given it the extra power, but we've also improved the width of the tyres to compensate for that, so hopefully the additional power isn't too much for the vehicle to handle. No idea why this is taking time again to load up. This is an issue we had in the previous episode when we were doing one of the prior championship. I'm not sure which part it was, but it took for absolutely ever to load up. It seems like this game's just getting glitchier and glitchier in some regards. Now granted it is a 33 lap race, so that's why it might be taking long, but considering a previous race that was nowhere near as long, took forever to load up, it's not all that reassuring, quite frankly. Right, let's start off in 12th, as per usual. There's the grid. So yeah, we're going to keep our fuel maximum. There's no reason to reduce it, because at the end of the day, as you can see, even with a maximum amount of fuel, we are going to be needing to do at least 3 pit stops. So this is the kind of thing that I wish would be more of these races, is some, tactics, pit stop tactics, because it can get a little bit samey otherwise without that being the case. Obviously online in the multi-class racing, where you're basically just going around the same track for a certain amount of time, that's where pit stops also can come into play as well. But general racing, career mode, not really. Oh dear. Not the cleanest of starts. Certainly rapid with all of that extra power, but I doubt even in stop form it would be that slow. But at least with that extra power and the additional grip from the wider tyres, it should mean that we're quicker on a per lap basis. What I'm going to be mindful of is if the extra power is going to wear out the rear tyres any quicker than normal. Oh dear, completely outbraked ourselves there. Oh dear. Not going to go for any real rewinds in this unless it's an absolutely catastrophic penalty. Just because we do have plenty of laps and therefore should have plenty of time to catch up. Plus, got to learn this car at the end of the day. No point constantly rewinding and not learning from mistakes. And the Lamborghini though, race in the previous championship, it does seem quite bouncy. But then again, Sebring is hardly the smoothest of tracks, especially on the start-finish line, the straight bit. Can't imagine this is the comfiest of cars to race in. So yeah, we've had some big news regarding this game and getting a new track added to the game. Obviously it's not a new track to the Forza series in general, but it is Fujimi Kaido, if I'm saying that right. But yeah, that has been a long fan favourite of people that have played the series. Yeah, I'm happy for everyone that it's getting added to this game. Now, it is obviously more of a drift circuit than or a drift track, point-to-point one, than a out-and-out racing track, but still, I am happy for everyone that has been wanting that to be added to this game, because it is a classic bit of a track there, 110 miles long, quite challenging as well, just to race, never mind drift around and get a amount of points on, so yeah, really happy for everyone that's been waiting for that. You can finally drift your favourite car up and down that place as much as you want, and yeah, but I'm more excited for the prospect of what cars are going to be added as part of that update as well. I imagine they will be quite Japanese focused, even obviously Fujimi Kaido is set in Japan. But yeah, I'm not expecting any like K cars or anything like that to be added unless they're going to finally sit up and admit that slower cars can be fun to race. So we could perhaps see the likes of the Honda Beat, Suzuki Cappuccino. I'd like to see the Autozam finally make its Forza Motorsport debut after it debuted in the Forza series in general and the Forza Horizon 5. That's a fantastic car and was really well popular in that game. There are obviously other like K cars that they could add that are hardly slow that I'd love to see on this game, but I imagine it's going to be more focused towards, you know, your Nissan GTRs and such. Potentially the modded versions of those kind of cars that we saw in the likes of Forza Motorsport 4 and before. You know, we had the I'm struggling to remember the names of them now, but obviously you had your Nismos, but you also had your Kimi Tora cars or something like that, or something along those lines. But there were a whole host of, you know, modded cars added to older Forza games, which in no part was probably due to buff out the car list, because obviously there weren't as many cars back then to choose from, or they didn't have as many cars available to them to scan into the game. So yeah, but they were really quite great cars to be honest to drive. Obviously it wasn't just Japanese cars that got the mod treatment and added to the game. there was a Corvette, I think it was called the Ling Fighter or something like that, like twin turbo or something like that. Hugely powerful, I think it was in gold, and that was quite a formidable car in a straight line. Was it Tommy Kari? I'm struggling to remember the name of those modded Mitsubishis and Nissans and such. But I'm sure someone out there knows what I'm on about, and you can always look on the Forza wiki to see which cars I'm talking about. There's plenty of pictures and info on there about such vehicles. Slightly went off road there. Because to be honest, outside of those kind of vehicles and slower K cars, I'm struggling to think of other Japanese vehicles that they could have that suit the kind of tracks that Fuji Mikado is. But at least it means we get another big update for a Forza game. Back to back with the Forza Horizon 5 update that is coming out in late April, so plenty to look forward to, quite frankly. Probably, yeah, it's those kind of things that will be done. But yeah, I'm getting the start of this car, quite frankly. Pause it to get the sound out. But it's still a glitch, unfortunately, that we are having to deal with. Tyres are getting quite worn out. We're about halfway at the moment. Again, I hope the extra power that I've given this car is not wearing those tyres out more than the opposition. That means we might well have to pit more frequently than they will. Slowly gaining on 8th, but yeah, after the kind of scruffy start, we did lose some ground. Oh dear. Overreacted to being on the grass. Completely flipped over to the other side. Not helpful. I knew it was going to give me a penalty as well, so maybe we'll rewound. Get the sound back. Definitely a lot faster on the straights than the opposition. Quite a bit in the last lap or so. This might not well take quite an hour, looking like at that time of an hour, a minute 50 on average. Should take about 55 minutes, 56 minutes, so might not well be quite an hour, but then obviously we all do have the pit stops we have to take into account as well. They can be about 10-20 seconds a piece. This depends how many of those we're going to have to do. It does say an estimated 3. The way our tyres are currently looking, we've only done 6 laps. Might be a bit more than that. I think I can do one more lap with these tyres and then I'll have to pit. Hesitant to do so, or maybe not. Yeah, we'll definitely have to. That was a shot. Right, obviously we are pitting earlier than everyone else, but that does mean that they have to pit anyway, so, you know, we will hopefully gain on time in that regard. We are obviously also gaining fuel, so it's something else we don't have to worry about for a good while longer. I'm just kind of annoyed at how quickly those tyres have worn out, because it's not a quick changeover, as you can see here. More than 1,000 feet to drive along, and you're only doing about 30 or 40 miles an hour. Somehow not dead last. You can see first place is 40 seconds ahead. We are on fresh tyres, whereas they are not. Use those up in front of us in drafts on the straights, we should gain more time that way as well. No. Annoying. Great, early enough there. Get the sound back, because as per usual, you rewind, it goes down. Interesting to see when the opposition do go into the pits. Being AI, I do suspect that they will go as long as those tyres will last, regardless of how effective they are. I think somebody has gone in already. Yes, they have. 2 people looks like they have. They were able to last 7 laps, whereas we were able to last about 6. Let's get another place in the bag. Come on, let me past, thank you. So yeah, if our tyres are only going to last about 6 laps a time, then looking at a damn sight more than 3 pit stops. I think next time round we might well just go for the hard tyres. Sacrifice a second or so on lap times and hope that they will last a damn sight longer than these medium ones will. So 16th has also already been in the pits before. They're the one that did it after the last lap. Someone else is in the pits now. Plenty of people actually have gone in, so. Right, so we're right back into the position that we started the race in already. Now, just because they're on fresher rubber does not mean they're going to instantly have better handling. They do need a lap, or at least half a lap, to get those tyres back onto back up to heat. They have the grip. I did not have my full braking when I swapped mine to new tyres. Imagine those in the top 10 that haven't pitted are going to last much longer on their tyres. I know the person up front has already gone in the pits. Yeah, there we go, someone else has gone in. 3 people have. Going in. Yep. There's plenty more positions to gain. Where are we going to end up? 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th. Oh dear, someone's cutting me off. Okay, let's not be quite as brave, although I figured being on the outside that would give them the inside, give them the advantage. Clearly, they were not too interested in that. Oh, and I don't want to be sliding around, because that just wears your tyres out more as well. Just get the sound back. Inside, into a podium position. Obviously points overall are not really going to come into this. This is going to be where you place at the end. Next pit, I'm going to go for the hard ones, and then they should technically last twice as long, so that should be about 12 laps. And then when they eventually wear out, I'll go right back into proper slicks, and they should see us out for the rest of the race. It's difficult to manage your tyre wear on this game though, I feel. Even though it does tell you how hot they are getting for corners when you're braking. It's not the most detailed. It didn't come up with any warnings about getting hot there on the tyres, and yet I imagine they were getting onto some quite strain there under the braking and going for the corners. seems to be gaining on first, but we're struggling to gain a lot. Still going down a ton, to be honest. Oh yeah, that's the kind of thing I don't want to do. Sliding around on these tyres just absolutely wears them out so quickly. Sound back, sorry, I forgot. Seems like the two up front are pretty level with us in terms of acceleration and speed. Getting worn out again. Try and last another lap. The front ones are going now. Yeah, definitely control. Luckily, it doesn't really, your tyre wear doesn't really affect you on the straights. It's just obviously through the corners that comes into effect. Quite a massive weighing cars like this, because obviously most of their cornering ability comes from downforce, so you need your tyres to be in tip-top condition for the slower bits. Obviously when they're as worn out as this, that is not the case. pits, but I don't know what position they're in. Hard tyres. So these should last twice as long, hopefully. Hopefully we haven't fallen all the way back to 20th again like last time. Such a long pit lane, this one. It's a lot longer than most tracks. Yeah, we've only fallen down to 14th, and even 13th isn't far ahead, so it's pretty good. A lot better than last time. Obviously these tyres are not as grippy as the mediums, but they should last longer. We do have a lot of straight line performance, which does not depend on our tyres. Fair enough. It's my fault for trying to operate. Come on. Let's get rid of this penalty that we don't need, or conscience. See how that was any different to last time, whatever. We're the only one that's pitted twice so far. Probably would have been more wiser to have started out with hard tyres. What have we been doing so far? More than half an hour. Again, we're back into 12th position. I was fearing that this wouldn't be all that competitive. You know, I'll just be up for too much of it and not being racing against anyone, but that's not been the case, thankfully. I'd rather not win this and have a fun time than win it and be bored out of my mind. And thankfully, I've not been bored out of my mind, which again was another big fear with this. Gain on 11th. Reel them in at all, please. Guess not. Someone else is going in the pits. Like 2 more are. Into 10th now. A little wide coming out of the pits there. So So if the game itself is saying an estimated 3 pit stops, does that mean the AI are only going to do the 3? Because I feel like we're going to have to do more than that. Potentially. Hard tyres are lasting quite a while though. I feel like I've been way ahead right now if I just come from hard from the start. I don't think I'd have had to have pitted until at least the 12th or 13th lap. Someone else is in the pits. More than one, even. Into 6th place now. Past the halfway point, so and I'm glad we did get the extra power into this car because it feels like that makes up for the fact that we're not on the grippiest of tyres. Going into the pits. In fact, it was that when we end up back in 3rd place. There we are. So 1st place hasn't gone into their 2nd pit yet. I imagine they will load it in the next, before the end of the next lap, or this lap even. See what other tyres the opponents are on, to be honest, because that would be interesting to see if the AI have the ability to, you know, make that decision, or whether or not we just go with medium tyres on the other. That's first place into the pits, and we go into second. And we're not that far behind the person that's inherited first place, so yeah, we're doing alright so far. Get first place though. Why did it do that? Press rewind and it blank and then reset us in a different position. Maybe because we're so deep into this race already that it's just not able to compute the rewind anymore. I thought my TV had gone off briefly then. Just want to check if it does tell you on the stats. No. It's a shame that it doesn't tell you what tyres the opponents have gone for. But I imagine the guy up front has gone for slick, medium tyres, because he has slowed right the hell down. Especially for that first bit. Feeling the wear. Gaining, come on. Slight bit of understeer there. Touch the grass in cars like this. Completely screws over your handling characteristics. We are wearing out our tyres. just go for hard tyres again when we eventually pit. It should see us out. And then if not, we'll just go full bore slicks and just get the best times we can. Hold out one more lap though. Medium tyres, which only lasts us about 6 laps, which as you can see is not as much laps as we have left. Whereas these hard ones would last until the end of the race. And even if everyone pitted only a lap or 2 after us, they would, and they didn't go for hard tyres, they would have to pit again. And if they didn't, they'll be struggling with reduced grip as well, so it's a win-win scenario regardless if we go for hard tyres, even though we won't have the best grip to start with, it will last longer regardless outside of that. Oh. Yeah, it's definitely not able to do the typical rewind. To be honest, that's better. It means the sound stays, I think. Yeah, I think the sound stays when it does it that way. You don't have to deal with that annoying sound effect when it rewinds. Always pitting as well. Well, oh dear. We obviously definitely do. Tyres. I don't even know what any of that is, to be honest. I don't know why I clicked it. But yeah, we'll refuel. We should have enough fuel left for the rest of the race. If not, and we do have to refuel, then we will go into soft tyres and improve our handling ability for those last few laps. Only got to 11th this time round, so we're even better than we were the last time that we pitted. Immediately back into the top 10. The guy in front is the one that was in first when we pitted, so he's the one to beat. Again, though, depends on what he's gone for, medium or hard tyres. Our fuel will actually also see us out to the rest of the race as well, so we shouldn't have to pit again, theoretically. Whereas there are people here that still haven't gone on to their third pit stop, so I was doing suddenly really slow and then suddenly was on our side. Right, so 8th place has also gone in for their third pit stop, so that's someone else we need to look out for. was just checking how long we've been. Seems to be a bit longer than an hour this race, by the sounds of things. Guess the pit stops and the tumbling lap times once our tyres stop wearing out has contributed to that. No idea if a minute and 48 or thereabouts is a quick lap time for this car on this track. It's the best we've done so far. Oh dear. Why the hell did they brake there? No idea. Yeah, I am not always predictable in this game. Which is a good thing, I guess, but not being predictable and then there's doing something unnecessary like that. Seventh. Whoa. Okay. I need to take the wing mirrors off. Why am I getting the collision for that? How is that in any way my fault? Thank you. The other one coming in at Mach 2. Right, so now we're into fourth. Third place has also been in for a third pit stop. If second place hasn't been, then yeah, third place is the one we've got to beat. I'm not sure if they're going to be needing another pit stop or not. Pretty sure the AI are better at managing their tyre wear. They've lasted out there, if they are on medium tyres, better longer than I have. First place does have quite the lead, so hopefully that third pit stop that we will inevitably have to get costs them a lot of time. Someone's gone off. Yeah, there we go. First and second have pitted. Get out in time. Into second we go, so it's between me and first now. Well, I guess everyone else is quite close behind us as well, but again, this is all going to come down to whether or not they've gone for medium tyres or not. If they have, they will not see out the rest of the race. They might not well pit before the end of the race, but those tyres will be getting way worse to deal with as time progresses. Whereas ours, too busy looking at the tyre indicator there, whereas ours are nowhere near as warm now as it would be for our mediums right now. Hard tyres are seemingly the way to go for an endurance race like this. Which I guess is no major surprise. Cool, it's now going dark. Blinding sun though, because it's so low. That's just realistic at the end of the day, so it's cool. So, braking zone down to a T, to be honest. Finally get our lights on. It's a shame that's not something we can do ourselves. Quite cool to have that kind of interactivity with your own car. Yep, he's feeling the pinch. They work for medium tyres. Finally got into the first position. So no, the hard tyres will not give you the fastest lap time or the best handling. But if you can manage the handling characteristics of the car with those tyres on, then you will outlast the competition. Just to learn the car, you'll have longer braking distances and nowhere near as much speed for the corners. myself there. We can power out of it with our big amount of power that we've got. It's coming into the last 4 laps after this straight bit. Should last those 4 laps, hopefully. On these tyres. Should I pit or not? We went for slick tyres, full soft ones. Would have a good chance, I feel. Let's try it, come on. It's a pretty quick pit time.
3 laps.
Can we do it in 3 laps though? We shouldn't have dropped much out of the top 5, I don't imagine. And if no one else up front has pitted, which they haven't. Yeah, we're in the top 5, right. That's manageable. Slick tyres, full slicks. The best handling we've ever had in this race so far. We don't have to conserve the tyres either because they will last the last 3 laps. Typically they last for about 4, I feel. This is what I said I was going to do anyway, if my hard tyres wouldn't last. Highly doubt anyone here that he's only going in 3 times is going to last that amount of time. If they don't go in again, they are going to be on very worn tyres. So even if mine do get on the more worn side of things, we're going to be in good company in that regard. Sorry, did not realise where I was. Used to the new handling that we have with this car, because it feels better than it ever has. Well, at worst, we're going to get a podium, so there is that. Considering this is, I think, the first endurance race I've done on this game. It's not bad going. If I was to change anything, it would have been just to stick with hard tyres from the start. And then that might well have meant that we wouldn't have had to have pit the 4th time. If it had, we would have had more time between us and whoever's behind us to go into that pit for the 4th time and not lose out on as many places or as much time as we have done. These slicks are working wonders in terms of chipping away at the time ahead of us. Pit this time. Don't think they have. They're gonna see it out to the end by the looks of it.
Final lap.
Definitely shrunk the gap. I don't think it's going to be enough. Got them both back below 10 seconds, but yeah, they just were able to hold on with those warm tyres a little bit better than we were. Oh well, I'm happy with a 3rd place. You know, I really wasn't expecting to even do that well, quite frankly, because I'm not experienced with endurance racing. I've not really had to think about pitting as much as that I have with that. And yeah, it was more than an hour, but as you can see, they were also better in terms of lap time, so I guess it's not too surprising that they were able to keep ahead of us. But still, that was pretty fun. That was. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, and as you can see, it gives us the points, but it's kind of irrelevant because it's only a one race event. So yeah, that was really fun. Quite a long video. That's probably one of the longest I've done for quite some time. But still, hope you enjoyed this singular episode for this championship. So we will move on to the next championship as soon as possible. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.